You found yourself on another episode of Locked On Bulls. In today's episode, we're going to be giving our mid-season grades for both the players and the front office and coaching staff. We'll get into all that plus more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline, where the game starts. That's Pat, the designer, host, and creator of the Windy City Breeze. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears Central. Pat, it's time to give some mid-season grades out, man. We're so caught up in the season. We're not that too far over the midway part, so don't sue us too much on that one. I want to start,
or at all. We have no money.
Yeah, exactly. Or at all. You know, we don't even worry about it. I can send you 50 Cent right now. But with that being said, brother, let's start with the big three. I feel like that's the perfect place to start. Let's start with DeMar DeRozan. What's their midseason grade for DeMar DeRozan?
I would give DeMar a B-, right? I think we've talked about him effort-wise on defense, having a lot of issues this season. I think we've talked about him not really getting the offense involved. Not to say he hasn't scored the ball well, which is why he's in the B range. But I think, a B- because he hasn't really been a part of the offense as much. Now, the last couple of, I'd say probably the last 10, 12 games, right? It's definitely been better outside of him missing these last few. But, I mean, for most of the season, right, we've talked about the same conversation. DeMar DeRozan kind of taking away from the offense instead of helping with the offense. You know what I mean?
For sure. I mean, for me, DeMar DeRozan, it's a solid B+. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, we wouldn't be where we were in many ways if it wasn't for DeMar, especially when Zach was playing slow and, Billy Donovan forgot how to use a big man like Vooch for some reason. All those type of things play into it. But DeMar has been very steady for us and been playing well. Defense aside, he's been atrocious defensively, man. Like, if he just played a lick of defense, just a tinge. Can we get a tinge of defense?
Here's the weird part, right? That's why I say the last 10, it plays into it, right? Because I could be swayed to say a B even because he has played defense when he's been on the court, right? We've seen him get involved more. It's still not like, oh, he's a clamp, but just even seeing him, just even seeing him slide into position at the right time is just like, that was nice. I like that.
He's been getting steals lately too, playing the passing lanes, things like that. So I feel you. All right, next up, Zach LaVine. What's your midseason grade for Zach?
I'd say a C+. It took him a long time to work himself into form, right? I know there's a lot of people that feel like he should be on the all-star voting ballot. I am not one of those. It took him a long time to work himself into form. Is he playing well now? Is he playing like an all-star now? 100%, right? But it took him all of 30 games before he started to get to this point. So I think a C+, trending in the right direction. I feel strongly about where Zach's going. I think that his defense has been better this season, much more improved. Just the beginning of the season really weighing heavy on that for me, right? I mean, like he was a D level player for much of this season up until this nice little 10, 15 game stretch that we're on here.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, Zach's really come on. Like you said, last 10 games. I wish I had the numbers in front of me. I don't want to slow the show down while trying to go and find them. I may find them when you're talking, but I feel like the last 10 games, Zach has been the Zach LaVine that we expect. And so that, but I can't outweigh or overlook just how bad and inconsistent he was to start the season off. And a lot of the games, if Zach LaVine was Zach LaVine, we'd probably have easily 3 or 4 more wins than what we did right now. And I found him over the last 10 games, 29 points per game, 49% shooting from the field, 41% from 3-point range, five rebounds, 4.5 assists, and almost a steal per game. So Zach's been balling the last 10 games.
Dog, I was not expecting to turn this
crazy,
on.
Bro.
I see 29 points a game, bro. Yeah, he's playing like Mr. 215. That's all you need to know right there.
Yeah. So
with better defense.
Zach got it. Yeah, with much better defense. So C+ for Zach so far with, of course, I think the in-season grade is going to be much higher for him as if he keeps continuing to play this way. But next up, Nikola Vucevic. What you got for Vuce, brother?
You know what? He's gonna get my highest grade. I'm not gonna lie.
Most consistent Bull this season.
Most consistent Bull of the entire season, dog. And it's not even a question, bro. Like Vooch to me is a B+ level player, right? I'm not giving anybody an A. Listen, we're still, what are we, 5 games underneath 500, 20 and 24 now, four games under 500, right? Like I'm not giving anybody an A for any of what we've seen this season, right? Because we've had complaints about everybody this season. But I think Vooch is the best that you've seen. He's been a B+ player. He's over his last 10, 20 points, 13 rebounds a game, a 20 and 13 guy. I believe he's second in the NBA in double doubles. Yeah, the defense isn't exactly what you want to be desired with this team, right? But at the end of the day, Vooch isn't meant to be a dominant shot blocking force down low. He's meant to be an offensive big man, and that's the kind of player that he's giving you. Are you going to have those games that do come in right in 11 and 14 versus Cleveland? Yeah, those games are going to happen. And by the way, in a bad game, he's 11 and 14. You know what I mean? So it's like
walking double.
Vooch can play for like the next 10 years if we being 100% honest. Because if you're coming off that, here's the thing: if you're coming off of the bench and you're giving me a solid 9 and 9, Vooch could do that at like 40, bro.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Them legs, bro. Like eventually them ankles gonna be like, hey man, listen, I'm not moving. But to just highlight the improvement from Vooch in overall. Last year he averaged 17.6. He's 17.5 this season, so not a big difference there. But he's taking actual less shots than what he took last season, shooting the ball 52% versus 47% last year from the field. He's shooting 38% from three-point range versus 31% last season. It's refined, right? And that's what continuity gives you. Vooch, if anybody's benefited off continuity this season, it's Vooch. Understanding his role, understanding how to pick his spots, being utilized a little bit better, being more efficient. All those things play into Vooch just having a great season. In his last 10, listen, that last 10 games for him, that's all-star numbers. 20 and 13 with basically 4 assists, 1.2 blocks per game, and almost a steal per game. That's all-star numbers. So
and he's one of your best passers, one of your best offensive players. He's shooting like 40% from the 3-point line over his last 10, right? Like you gotta love Vooch, man. I love what he's bringing to the team.
Yeah, for sure. All right, coming off the top 5, let's round out the starting 5. IOP Will, what grades are you giving them this season?
I'd give both of them a D, and I feel like I'm being generous on P. Will with the D. Pause. Jesus, Pat. Oh, Jesus. You gotta
hit it, bro.
Yeah, you gotta. No, I think that was now pause on you. That's the problem, dog. Somebody's gonna clip that up. Somebody's gonna clip that up, and it's probably gonna be Haize, which is the biggest problem. So anyway. I think I'm being generous by giving P. Will that letter grade, because I right, like he's been better over the last, I guess you could say last 10, right? But for the most part this season, right, P. Will's been very underwhelming. Hasn't gotten himself involved. Hasn't been the defender that we thought he was gonna be. Hasn't even been the defender that he once was at times this season, right? Yeah. And so I'm not going to give him an F because that'd just be like, I don't feel like he's played that bad. He still had somewhat of a role, but like he has not produced for the Chicago Bulls for most of this season, if we're being 100% honest. Ayo Dosunmu, kind of the same thing. Kind of feel the same way. Ayo has not been the defender that he once was. I feel like offensively, he's hit or miss. You know, sometimes he has those games where it's like, man, this guy can't miss. And then other times it's like, how'd you miss a wide open layup with just you at the rim? You know, so I think that you haven't seen a step from either of your young players. That's probably the most important thing I'm going to be looking forward to or hoping for in the second half of the season.
Definitely. D minuses for both of them for me, just because this has just been underwhelming. They've both taken setbacks in areas and for long stretches of games where they just didn't even do things that they did well in their rookie seasons, right? Yeah. Like in P. Will's rookie seasons and Io's rookie season. So definitely that's the little grade they get there. I'm trying to pick those words very carefully.
The words properly.
But okay, we're running out of time in this segment. All right, real quick, bench. Kobe gets a B. He gets probably the highest number. Him and Dragic gets B's for me. Caruso gets a B- too. I mean, he just can't stay healthy. And then everybody else on the bench is kind of just
they exist. Cool. They exist. C's. Yeah, C's across the board. Yeah. I would agree with you on your letter grades on that, just because Kobe White's shown you a ton of improvement. I think he has been a B player. I'd say at times a B+ player. Dragic's just stability. Drummond can't stay on the court, mostly because we don't know if Billy Donovan likes him or not sometimes.
At least he knows who he is, though.
He does know who he is, all until he gets 4 fouls in 3 minutes. But yeah, outside of that, man, I agree with you. There's a lot of guys that have played well for the Bulls off of the bench, and not to sleep on any of them. We're just actually out of time. So maybe we'll do this tomorrow.
We'll see. All right, next up, we're going to be giving our midseason grades for the coaching staff and the front office. But before we do that, I got to talk to you guys about Rocket Money. If your New Year's goal are to manage your budget better and save money, you need Rocket Money. Say goodbye to last year's outdated, disorganized methods of managing your money and say hello to Rocket Money, the better way to hack your finances in 2023. Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Over 80% of people have subscriptions they forgot about, like that streaming service you bought to watch just one show, or that free trial that you never forgot to cancel. Rocket Money will quickly and easily identify your subscriptions for you so you can stop paying for the ones that you don't want. Rocket Money makes canceling subscriptions as easy as a click of a button. Simply find the subscription you don't want and press cancel, and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. No more long hold times with customer service or tedious emailing back and forth. Over 3 million people have used Rocket Money, saving the average person up to $720 per year. Stop throwing your money away, cancel unwanted subscriptions, and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/LockedOnNBA. That's rocketmoney.com/LockedOnNBA. Once again, rocketmoney.com/LockedOnNBA. All right, Pat, this is where things may start getting a little bit ugly. Midseason grades for the coaching staff and the front office. Let's start with Billy Donovan. What's your midseason grade for Billy Donovan?
I would say I want to say a B-, but I'm leaning so much more towards C. I don't think that Billy Donovan has just been god awful like everybody else does. Mm-hmm. I put a lot more of what happens on the court on players, because I've seen bad coaches win a lot of basketball games. I've seen coaches that we feel like are not good at the same things Billy Donovan is not good at win a lot of basketball games. Nick Nurse. And I don't believe that it all falls on Billy. Are there the same things that we've talked about since Billy Donovan's been a coach that fall on him? Yeah, listen, he doesn't adjust well. But we want to crucify Billy, and I feel like a lot of people want to crucify Billy based on his offensive system, not getting guys involved and different things like that. But then randomly, all of a sudden, the players start running this magical offensive system that gets everybody involved and moves the ball really well. And all of a sudden, the Bulls are able to score baskets pretty easily. And it's just like, hey, where'd that come from? You know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean, we've talked about that all season, right? Like, it seems like there's times where the Bulls want to run it and the Bulls want to run ISO. And I think that that's probably the part that Billy Donovan doesn't mitigate well enough, because he tries to be that hands-off player type coach that lets the players kind of feel the game and let the game come to them, which is good in some aspects and bad in others. So I'm probably going to go B- over anything else. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Billy Donovan's coaching, and like, still, the one thing that bothers me is that, you know, the bet on continuity, you're supposed to be utilizing players better. It's just sometimes Billy Donovan just doesn't run the scheme, it seems like, for the players that are on the court, doesn't use them the best. And coming into this, one of the biggest things that Billy Donovan was even hired for was development. And I don't like the way that I've seen players develop under him. So to me, you know, hasn't been terrible this season. I always say when people say, "Oh, Billy Donovan's a horrible coach," no, he's not a bad coach. He's not a great coach either. He's a solid NBA coach. But he it's a C- for me, man. Almost a D. And that's just my personal expectations coming into the season and things that I wanted to see that I'm not seeing. So that's my grade for Billy Donovan. Again, it can definitely improve. And I would say over the last 10, 12, probably even the last 15 games, it's been better in certain areas. I think some of the games we go back to the normal thing, and sometimes you can tell that it's not Billy Donovan running. It's the player's not inability to hit the shot. I can't remember which game it was, but me and you both talked about it. Like, yeah, the scheme worked because they were getting wide open shots. Nobody hit the open shots.
Wide open shots.
So you can't blame the coach for that.
The conversation all last year too, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we came in here, especially when we took over, because apparently that's when the Bulls were just like, we're done.
We're done.
Yeah,
we're done.
I feel like, right, like the conversation last year was never, man, the Bulls can't find an open shot. It was like, we don't have any shooters that can knock down a shot. And at times it's felt like that this year, not nearly as much. Having Zach LaVine healthy changes that a lot, and getting him back into form changes that a lot. I don't know, man. I just, I see guys like in Ayo's situation where Ayo showed a tremendous amount of development his rookie year. And in his second year, right, he's kind of regressed. We could say the same thing about Scotty Barnes, and I think Nick Nurse is a hell of a coach. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm the type of person that I put a lot on the players. I think that you take your own career into your own hands. I think that there are times where coaches can interfere with that, and they can cause you to not be in a good position. But you should find something. And I think the biggest thing for me is, right, like, Ayo has found nothing that he can kind of and P. Will has found nothing that they can kind of consistently do on a night in, night out basis if the offense isn't focused on them. And we've seen lesser players be able to do that. We've seen guys not taken as high be able to do that.
Well, that's still coaching, though, because those coaches still set them up. And, like, we just rank coaching differently because even lesser guys, the coach still puts them, like Pop. Pop will always put a player, if he's trying to develop them, in a position to try to grow some part of their skill. Everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. You can come in. Right now, Tony Bradley would be working on the best hook shot in the NBA right now if he was under Pop. So I still have to put some of the lack of development on the coaching staff because that's your job as a coach. Yeah. So, that's just how we rank coaching differently.
Yeah,
so.
For sure.
But, all right, next up. I didn't give I gave my grade for Billy Donovan.
Yeah, you did. You said C minus.
So front office, Acme, Eversley.
C. Yeah, I mean, like, we're not bad, we're not good either.
Yeah.
It's like we're the same. We're standing pat, but it's tough to assess where they really are realistically because we can literally say that about every team outside of your top teams in this league. Like, legit, dog, your dog in the background freaked me out for a second. Like, legit. We talked about yesterday, right? Like, there's not a lot of teams that are expected to make moves at the trade deadline because front offices are just like, if we go on a 5-game win streak, we're sitting at the 4th seed in the East. If we go on a 5-game losing streak, we know a little bit more what to do, right? So I think that it's right now, I feel like AK with continuity hasn't worked. I understand that you have to have continuity, but I think that it hasn't worked to this point, so I can't give you a better – like, you're doing a great job, guys, and I don't think there's going to be a ton of change. But I also look at the rest of the NBA and say the whole league's kind of there. Right? Like, you got your top teams that are the best of the best, right? But even, right, like, Milwaukee's one of the best teams in the NBA, and legit, I keep telling Muggs, and Bucks fans want to come at me and go at me on Locked On NBA and all that, they losing a lot of games they supposed to win. They shouldn't have lost to us twice. I'm just saying, dog. It's great. I appreciate y'all, but, like, come on.
I mean, that's easy to say, but I mean, they're still only lost 16 games on the season. So
they got beat by 30 to the Hornets.
I understand that, but when you're a team that has proven your ability to get to the Eastern Conference, you taking a couple of nights off. Like I don't like the Golden State Warriors being at 500 right now. I'm like, listen, cool. I give them the pass on that because I believe that they're going to turn it on in the second half of the season.
We feel better about it, but let's be real. They've lost to almost every good team in the league.
This is true.
I'm talking about the Bucks, not the.
No, I know what you're talking
Bucks. Yeah, I'm just.
But
saying,
it's still only 16 losses, which puts them as having the third best record overall in the NBA.
I'm with you. Hey, we was at the top of the East for 56 days, baby.
Yeah, but we also weren't a team that made it to a finals and made it to ECF. So I mean, but the front office for me, the way that I look at it is this. Yes, they could have did more this offseason, but their offseason acquisitions to, in large part, work. Goran has been everything that we wanted Goran to be. DJJ has come in and brought in energy, and Drummond, when he's able to stay on the court, has been good. It's just his inability to stay on the court. So it's like, it's like, hey, I understand that you guys made some moves that maybe we didn't expect you guys to be making. We thought you were gonna go, aim higher, but those moves have, in a large part, worked out. That's what saved it in that way, but still we needed more. You did a Gar Forman to us. Let's just be straight up. You told us we needed to add rim protection and shooting, and you went out and you didn't add that in a meaningful way. Goran is cool. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I like Goran. He's still not the shooter technically that we need. So it is what it is, man. Yeah. It's an average to me, and I know a lot of Bulls fans go, it has to be an F. That's just what it is. Got to be realistic. But yeah, man, that's it on my grades for that.
Hey, man, I bet you I wouldn't have thought we'd be in this position, man. And if you had taken that bet, you could have gone to betonline.net. Well, they're your number one source. I don't know why I went with that voice. Your number one source for all sports betting info, stats, news, and analysis. You can get the latest odds and trends for every professional sport. I'm talking UFC, pro football, NBA, MLB, that's getting ready to come up. Pitchers and catchers, I believe, report in 54 days, something like that. They got it all over at betonline.net. And if you love sports podcasts, you can even find those at BetOnline as well. They're the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more. BetOnline, it's where the game starts.
Dun, 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 dun. I just gotta throw it in there from time to time, bro. It is what it is.
We gotta reach out to them again, bro.
It's over with. I think that sip is sell there, brother. But before we go today, we got to talk about this collab. So we saw the logo, Off-White Bulls collab. We finally got to see the results of that collaboration. Bruh. These varsity jackets, bro.
Bangers.
Bro, the first one that I saw was the dark blue and black one that Zach LaVine posted to his Instagram, and then they started posting them on the Bulls Twitter. The red one and white one, it's beautiful. And then I went to Off-White's website to see what they sell their jackets for usually, and I immediately was like,
yeah, about to be poor. I'm gonna have a poor month for sure. Locked On, appreciate you guys for paying for one jacket. You know what I mean? It's about to be bad, bro, because I saw it and I was like, and here's the thing. I'm not a fashion guy. I'm not a dude that's out there, right? I got to have the latest J's. I got to have this. I got, even you, right? You go harder on the hats and all that stuff, right? I'm just like, hey, that's a nice Bulls hat. I'm going to cop that real quick. That's a nice hoodie. I'm going to cop that real quick. Stuff like that. Or I just make my own. Bro, I saw them and I was like, I'm going to spend a lot of money on that.
Yeah, bro. When I saw the white and black one first, I was like, "That's cool." I made cop, and then the red one came, and I was like, "That may be a must buy." That may be a must buy. I'm not saying I'm going to get it when it first drop, but eventually we're just gonna put it up on the screen right here. I know if you're listening on the podcast side, you may not see it. That's a fresh jacket, bro.
Hey, and if nothing else, Dalen Terry got a jacket out of it, man, because he's not gonna get no playing time over there in Paris.
That's the black. I like that one, but it doesn't even have a Bulls logo except on the arm, and you can barely see it. I like that the Bulls logo is is on the front of the red jacket, which is really nice.
What's the now? I will say this: what do we got on the arms? I was trying to see that. I couldn't get a clear picture of the arm. I see
that it's 6 stripes. So I'm guessing that's each year that we won the title. That's
what's the other arm? You can see it kind of more on P. Wills.
I just think that's the Off-White logo. You know the Off-White Bulls logo that they came up with the bull slamming the ball. I think that's what that is.
Look at the P. Will one again though. Click the P. Will one again. Because that one, right?
That's a different one.
What's 13?
That's just a Bull's face.
What is 13? I'm looking at the number 66. and 13. What like?
I don't know, bro. I have no idea.
I don't.
66 now. I have I have 2 Bulls varsity jackets not made by Off-White, and 66 is on both of those. So there has to be something with the year 66 in Chicago Bulls that I just may not know about.
That's the year the Bulls were created. Like
Okay,
that, I know.
well then that makes sense.
Yeah,
but why 13?
I don't know 13. That's what I was trying to figure out. I don't know what 13 is. Now, I do know it might have something to do with Virgil. I know that this is also a partial collab for Virgil, who passed away here in Chicago. A great designer, one of the top designers in the world. Honestly, went through all the stuff with Kanye and all that. But it might have something to do with that. I just don't know. I saw the year 13 and I was like, the Bulls weren't even good in 2013. Like, what happened?
Who did we draft in 2013?
2013, maybe we were good. Do we still have Jimmy?
I don't even remember.
We might have been good still. We might have still been good in 13. Oh no, I think that's the Wade team, ain't it?
Was that the 3 alpha season?
Team? Ain't that the 3 alphas? I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Was that 9 years ago? No, yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
13 is D-Rose game winner over Bron.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like so we were 45, 2012-13 season, we were 45 and 37. Yeah, we made it to the semifinals. We lost to the Heat 1-4. I
was wrong then. We lost to the Heat 1-4.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the Brooklyn year with Nate Robinson?
That may have been.
Is that the Brooklyn year with Nate Robinson?
Unless you're talking about the 13-14 season. Now that's a different season. We went 48 and 34 in that season. We lost in the first round to the Wizards.
That's tough.
What good happened in 2013? I don't understand.
It's got to be something that connects with Virgil. I'm sure somebody in the comments will let us know.
That's the year we drafted Tony Snell. That's what it is.
Dang it!
Market, Tony Snell. you got to commemorate when you draft Tony Snell.
P. Will before P. Will was P. Will. Because remember, he just played with Kawhi Leonard in high school, so that meant he was going to be just like Kawhi Leonard. I was like, who came up with that narrative?
Bro, I remember when they drafted Tony Snell and somebody was like, oh, the Bulls are now going to have to decide between Luol Deng and Tony Snell. And I was like, bro, it's Tony Snell. Calm down, bro. Chill out.
The only man that has multiple 38-minute games without recording a single stat.
And the only thing that Tony Snell has done is he looks sleepy all the time. Like he's asleep right now, but his eyes are open.
He's he looked like Zorak from Space Ghost Coast to Coast. But he one of them mugs, bro, that legit he had the weirdest game, bro. Like he would have a game where he would go like 11 for 12 from 3. And then the next game wouldn't put up a bucket. Not a rebound, not an assist, not a layup like that. No, what did you do? No free throws. What did you do, bro? I had 40 dropped on his head.
Him and Tristan Thompson. Just empty minutes, bro. What were y'all doing with y'all minutes? But to get back on the jackets, man, apparently they're supposed to be dropping. There's some more stuff that's supposed to be dropping as well. So it's supposed to be a hoodie. We haven't seen the hoodie yet. A hat's supposed to be dropping. So we still got more content to be dropping from there. So
I might still go jacket. A hoodie probably would be hard. I'm gonna spend a lot of money on a jacket and a hat. Yeah, especially that red one, because that red one bust. I ain't gonna lie to you,
bro. Prepare $1,400 at the minimum is what that's gonna be.
I might have to put off getting that car that I want for
Off-White did a collab. I can't remember. They did a collab with a school. I can't remember. And the jacket was $1,700, and that was a high school, bro. That wasn't even not even college.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I hadn't heard of Off-White until they wanted to partner with
really?
Chicago Bulls, bro.
They did the Jordan collab and they had the Air Force collab not too long ago, and those were both fire. That's when they popped up on my radar. That was a couple years ago.
I'm not a fashion dude at all, bro. I'd be like, hey, like, is it Nike or not? I know Polo because they got the teddy bear thing, and I was like, oh, it's like Kanye West bear. I literally described that to my wife one day, and she was like, "You should never talk again." I was like, "Who's the company that got like?" I just went to their
website real quick, bro. A graphic letter varsity jacket, not even associated with any school. Guess how much this mug is?
$3,000.
$3,335.
Yeah, I was on the website earlier as well.
Oh, okay.
As soon as I saw the picture, I knew.
It's like, come on, fam.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I might not be getting that jacket because we sitting here talking about it's gonna be like $1,400. That motherfucker be like $5,000, bro. We
Bro,
probably not getting
That's
that jacket.
just like
I'm not
you know
spending
the coats
$5,000,
they
though.
give away during the games. This is gonna sound the moose knuckle down coats. That's the ones where they always show Benny the Bull during games. He's always doing this. Bro, I went in to look to see how much those coats were. $9,000 for a coat. No, I'm good on that, fam.
That coat better give me the location of where Tupac is at. It better tell me what really happened to Elvis. That coat better,
bro.
That coat better predict when the Bulls get championship.
The things that coat needs to be able to do for me to pay almost $10,000 for a coat.
Relax, brother. We live. That's the Locked On Network, bro. You can't go that far.
I didn't even mean it like that.
Oh, okay. All right. I got nervous. Hey,
but anyway, man, that's it for us for today, man. That's crazy, bro. That's
follow
wild.
us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. Appreciate y'all for showing love, man.
You guys can follow me at everything at CEO Haize, CEO Haize. And thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen today. Now now go check out Game to Game as your second listen. Every moment, every top performance, every result. Locked On Game to Game covers every game from across the NBA with local analysis that only Locked On can deliver. Follow Game to Game on Locked On NBA, available on the Odyssey app, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. For Pat the Designer, I'm Haize. This is Locked On Bulls, man. Peace, y'all.
Peace. Did he say moose stuff?